Our next guest is a seasoned pro at scary as straight. Actor Clancy Brown striking fear into audiences ever since his role in the 80s classic Bad Boys. His voice can send chills down your spine.
Me and him. We're it. You're on House Patrol until we say different. You got it?
Clancy Brown went from Bad Boys to brutal battles as the Kurgan in Highlander.
There is one called Connor among them.
Aye.
Remember our agreement, Murdoch. The boy is mine.
And a few years later, he nearly threw Tim Robbins off a roof in the Shank Redemption.
It's only my opinion, sir.
What are you Jimmy staring at? Back to work!
But it hasn't just been villains for Clancy. He also lent his voice to some of the most iconic animated characters of all time. Perhaps the biggest of all, money-obsessed restaurant owner Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob SquarePants, a role he's reprising in the upcoming film Saving Bikini Bottom.
That monster is gonna sell us as pets!
What a career.
And we are totally delighted to say that Clancy joins us live from Los Angeles. Clancy,
Hey, Clancy.
What an eclectic career you've had looking back on all of that. But let's start with Shawshank. It's been 30 years. Take us back to the moment you first received that script, and what did you make of it?
Oh, it was a beautiful script. It was probably the best adaptation I think I've ever read, and it was no secret around Hollywood that it was such a good script. Morgan tells a funny story about how one of the agents in his office, not his agent, but one of the agents called up the director and said, you know, a lovely script, everybody loves it. I just want you to think about Julia Roberts as Rita Hayworth. So the guy obviously didn't read the script.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody loved the script.
I mean, Rita does have a very important role in the film, but you will be returning to Mansfield Prison to celebrate the film's anniversary alongside some of the co-stars. I mean, that does speak to this film's legacy. It's a perfect movie.
Oh, well, thank you. I think it is a perfect movie. Boy, that brings back, I'm looking at the pictures now of that. Yeah, boy, that's quite a set, that one. Yeah, we were 30 years ago. I always think of it as 31 years ago, since I got married after I shot the scene where I was throwing Tim off the roof. I left and hopped on a plane and got to Chicago and married my wife of the last 30 years. So.
Wow, that's a great memory.
Right?
Yeah.
I need to ask you a question as well, because you started for me way back when in the movie Highlander. We played the Kurgan, one of my all-time favourite movies growing up. Russell Mulcahy, Aussie director in this. We're looking at some of it now. You're walking on set with the great Sean Connery. How was that movie for you?
Oh, it was... I was so young. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, and I left it all to the great wardrobe design by Jim Atchison and the photography by Jerry Fisher, I think it was, and Russell's direction and the crazy script. It was a lot of fun, you know. Meeting Sean Connery was interesting. You know, I met him early on when we were doing some training, and I think he said 3 words to me, and then didn't talk to me anymore. He said, "Do you golf?" And I said no, and that was it pretty much for the rest of the show. But what a movie star, right? I mean, he was 100%.
Incredible.
100%.
The Scots are very serious about their golf.
Very serious about it. Okay, you're also celebrating the anniversary of another one of your roles, Mr. Krabs, in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
How did you embrace this role? I mean, such a big shift from some of those characters you've played in the past.
Yeah, you know, it was just kind of a off-the-cuff audition I did for Steve Hillenburg, rest in peace. He passed a couple years ago, who created SpongeBob. And it was kind of up to him to put me in it. I don't think he was very familiar with my work up until then, but you know, he liked the funny voice I came up with. And so the rest is history. And nobody knew that it was going to go on for 25 years. This is another anniversary of mine. I mean, you know, my daughter was, well, I think she was 4 or 5 when we were doing SpongeBob, and I remember plugging the pilot in to VHS. Remember VHS?
Yeah, for sure.
And having her watch it because I couldn't make head nor tails of it, and she just watched. She loved it. She loved it, and she watched it over and over and over again. And I thought, this might have some legs here. This one.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I mean, the whole SpongeBob
And she had no
cast.
idea who I played.
Of course.
Oh,
She
really?
couldn't
Well,
figure it out.
hopefully you did the
Yeah,
voice
no.
for it. But the whole cast are getting back together for Comic-Con in San Diego this month to celebrate. This is going to be really huge, and a new movie coming out as well.
Yeah. We always have a movie, and this is a Sandy movie, and we're doing some 3D CGI for it. Boy, we recorded it a few years, maybe a year or so ago. And it's hard for me to remember exactly what happened, but you know, we got more and more coming out. There's lots of SpongeBob product for you to consume. So
It's the
My
gift.
family loves SpongeBob.
Oh,
This is
we're
the best.
just diving into it with
Oh, it's
my
the
4
best.
and
it's
3-year-olds.
fun. It makes a lot of money, and that's what we love about it. We make a lot of money.
It's the gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Hey, finally, I know that you can't say much, but you were just here in Australia shooting a new show. What can you tell us, and how did you enjoy your time here down under?
I loved my time there. I'm a little bummed out that I'm not there for the deciding match,
the Origin.
the State of Origin match. I was there for the first 2, and how exciting was that? I had no idea that rugby could be such a compelling sport. Yeah, I had a great time. We were there in Brisbane. I think it's funny that you think it's cold in Brisbane. It's not. It's not at all. But we were there for about 3 months and shot this show called Good Cop, Bad Cop. It should be coming out next year sometime.
Well, I tell you what, it is a real honour to have you here. And congratulations on all your anniversaries, professionally and personally. It's great to have you
Yeah,
here, Clancy.
right. They all line up.
They all do. What a thrill.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't golf, though.
All right.
Doesn't
Does not
golf.
Famously, Clancy Brown doesn't golf.
Hey, saving Bikini
you.
Bottom.
Good
We love it. The Sandy Cheeks movie out on Netflix on August 7. Don't miss it. What
Doing
a
the
lovely
voice
fella.
too. How good is that?
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and
What's my name again?
oh my God, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
always happens.
What's she talking about?